In this lesson, we're going to use scales to find unknown values. Let's start by defining scale drawing and a scale. First of all, a scale drawing is an enlarged or reduced drawing that is proportional. So let's talk about a scale. Well, the scale is a ratio that compares the drawing, so the actual, or like the drawing or the model, to the actual length or size. So it's that ratio of the drawing all over the actual. Find the actual measurement. The scale drawing has a length of 3 centimeters. What is the actual height of the boat if 1 centimeter is equal to 1.5 meters? So remember we said that it's the drawing all over the actual. So in this case, that the drawing would have 1 centimeter and the boat for every 1.5 meters in the actual boat. So now we want to know then if the scale drawing has a length of 3 centimeters. So we're setting this up as a proportion, and it's really important that you label your pieces. It really makes it a lot easier for you to then line up the parts. And then we know that we're solving for then the meters. So we do not know how many meters would be for the 3 centimeters. So we could do this one of two ways. We could do the cross products, cross multiply and then divide, or we could look at this one and we could say, well, how did I go from 1 centimeter to 3 centimeters? And you can easily see that you're multiplying by 3. So if I did that on the top, I have to do that on the bottom. And our x would be equal to then 4.5, and in this case, meters. So if the boat had 3 centimeters on the drawing, that would mean that it would be 4.5 meters in actual length. All right, for question number 3, it says that the map has a scale of 1 inch is equal to 20 miles. So again, you're going to set that up as 1 inch for every 20 miles. Now what it's saying is that if the two cities are 80 miles apart, how far apart are they on the map? So in this case, we know the miles. I know that I've got then in actual miles, I've got 80 miles. All right, so I could do one of two things here. I could say, well, how did I go from 20 to 80? And I know I'm multiplying by 4. In this case, let's just go ahead and let's do the cross products property. Let's just, I'm going to multiply and multiply. So I get 20 times x. I have 20x is equal to 80 times 1, which is 80. So I'm going to divide by the 20. And x then is equal to 4. So what we know then is on your map, it would be 80 miles would be 4 inches apart. All right, so now we're asked to convert measurements using proportions. So in this case, it says that the Pizza Shack uses 38 quarts of tomato sauce every day. How many gallons do they use? All right, so we need to take a look at this conversion right here. It says that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So I'm going to start with that. If 1 gallon, making the ratio, for every 4 quarts. Now if I go back and it says the Pizza Shack uses 38 quarts of tomato sauce, well, what I know then is because they're labeled here, it makes it a lot easier. I'm just going to put my 38 on the bottom. And in this case then, I'm going to do the cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to take 4 times x and I get 4x. I'm going to take 38 times 1 and I get 38. And now let's go ahead and continue to solve by then dividing by 4. And I would then end up with 9.5 gallons. So if you had 9.5 gallons for every 38 quarts. All right, in question number 5, we're asked to convert 924 inches to feet. So again, what we know is that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I'm going to make that a ratio of 1 foot for every 12 inches. All right, now, because I'm converting the inches to feet, I know that I don't have 12 inches, I have 924 inches. And I need to determine then how many feet that is. So again, we're going to cross multiply and divide. So you have 12x is equal to then 924. We're isolating the variable, so we're dividing by 12. And then you end up with then 77 feet. So 924 inches is equal to 77 feet. All right, so now we're asked to convert inches to centimeters. So what we know is that for every 1 inch, for every 2.54 centimeters. And we're given the inches, so I'm going to then line up my inches. So I have 6 inches, and now I'm just going to solve for however many centimeters that is. So I would then multiply 1 times x, I get 1x, and then I can multiply 6 times 2.54, and you'll end up with 15.24, and of course you divide by 1, you'd have 15.24 centimeters. So if you have 6 inches, you would that is equal to 15.2 centimeters. All right, question number 7. It says there needs to be 1 cup of sugar for every 3 quarts of punch. How much sugar would someone need that wants to make 6 gallons of punch? All right, so first of all, let's break this apart. It says that you need 1 cup of sugar for every 3 quarts of punch. All right, and then it's asking how much sugar would someone need who wants to make 6 gallons of punch. So we're looking at, and I know, so the quarts and the gallons, we're talking about the punch on the bottom. And so let's go ahead and let's just put our 6 gallons of punch down here. Now, hopefully you're noticing that these units are not lining up. So let's go ahead and then think about what we could do then to make these the same units. All right, question number 8. It says the model of the Empire State Building is 1 foot for every 32 feet. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start with our scale first. We have 1 inch on the drawing for every 32 feet in actual size. All right. So this right here is our size of our actual Empire State Building. So we have 1,440 feet. So that we're going to line up with the feet. And now we need to know then how many inches that is. So let's cross multiply and divide. I'm going to take my 32 times x to get 32x. I take 1,440 times 1 and I get 1,440. And now what we need to do is then just isolate the variable by dividing by 32. So a 1,440 divided by 32 and we get 45. So our x is going to be equal to 45. So what that means is that on our drawing, you're going to have 45 inches. All right, so for our last example here, it says a local school district has made a scale model of the campus of Ingalls Middle School, including a proposed new building. The scale model is 1 inch for every 3 feet. All right, so now what I'd like for you to do is to pause the video. I'd like for you to do answer questions number 9 and 10, and then you can resume the video when you are finished with those and check your answers. All right, so question number 9, it said that the existing gymnasium is 8 inches tall in the model, and how tall is the actual gymnasium? So you would set that up as a proportion, and 1 inch all over 3 feet is equal to 8 inches all over, well, we don't know how many feet, and then you cross multiply and divide, and you should have 24 feet. For question number 10, you have 22.5 inches. So again, you are multiplying that by 3, and so you should have 67.5 feet. In this lesson, you took a look at how to find the missing sides in scale drawings and for converting measurements.